I got put in against Tampa. And it was not to save the day. It was everything else has gone wrong, so we might as well put Favre in. It was at one of those moments. I think we were down 38-3 at halftime. And Holmgren had enough of everyone else, and he said, "You're going in." So I thought I was going to bring us back to win. But there's something about being naive and all shucks, which is what I was then. Like, it's about time that you come to your senses and put me in. Well, first play, he calls the easy little bootleg pass, and I throw it. Guy tips it right back to me. And what I still remember that moment. I'm thinking, catch it and score. I think I lost 7 or 8. But Holmgren, when I get to the sidelines, I'm not going to tell you his exact words, but it was not, "Son, good try, proud of you." But he said a few choice words, and he said, "Everything else has gone wrong, and then you add to it." And I said, "I thought I was going to score," and I was being honest.
Now, when you started the next game, that was the beginning of 297 in a row.
297. When I hear that number, I don't think that that's a lot. But when I thought about it at the end of my career and chose to sit out the last as a Viking, what would end the streak, and I got to thinking that you'd have to play 19 straight years.
19 straight years.
19 straight
Every
years.
game start. Why did you sit out that game? What happened?
There was no reason to play except to keep the streak alive, and I never played for that anyway. So I felt like that I'd be playing for the wrong reasons. Plus, it was time. I was beat up. I mean, I was really beat up. I could have.
You were beat up many times, though.
We couldn't go to the playoffs. We were out of it.
You ripped a throwing arm bicep.
I did, but we
game.
still had a chance for the playoffs up until the last game, and the last 5 games were horrible. Played horrible. Accuracy was terrible. It would kill me on the handoff, and not bother me on the throw. The next time I'd throw, it would kill me.
And you can't take any painkillers because you're
Can't
you're
take
off the
any
stuff.
pain. No painkillers. Ultimately, I had surgery in the off season. Got picked up by the Vikings, and felt like a new man.
Who scared you on the other side of the line?
Well, Reggie White would have been the first, but thankfully I played with him after that. He was the load. But I would say John Randall and Warren Sapp, 2 division guys. That was back when Tampa was in our division. And both of them were good trash talkers. I'd give the nod to Warren. John was not. John kind of intellectually trash talked you. Like, "Hey, how's the family doing?" Warren Sapp would say, "Hey, motherfucker."
So, all right, can we clear this up? What happened with Michael Strahan? He's about to break the record for sacks.
I ran a bootleg. He'd been crying, belly aching for a sack the whole game. I've known Michael a long time. And Michael's a hell of a player. And I had an option to run or hand it off. And I ran. And I just knew he was going to be there to just pace me. And he wasn't there. And I mean, I slid like, and we had the game won. So the worst thing I could have done was go out of bounds. And I just ended up falling down. And I never got a thank you. I never got a new car. I never got anything. And he's hit me pretty hard. That was one of them that will rank near the bottom.
You ever play against LT?
Yeah. His last play, very last play, was the sack on me. He blew out his Achilles. I'm no joke to tackle now.
6'2".
As a joke.
Yeah.
but he blew out his Achilles. Yeah. Look, I played long enough that Clay Matthews Sr. sacked me, and Clay Matthews Jr. sacked me.
That's right.
That's a true story.
Yeah. Well, he was a Packer, right?
Yeah,
He
when I
sacked
was
you
with
when
the
you were
Vikings. Yeah.
yeah.
And when we played, I had a lot of great memories, and some of them really have not a whole lot to do with the game itself, but like I played the last game in Cleveland Brown Stadium. I remember that game because Clay Matthews Sr., who was in his better days were behind him, but he was still a good player. He sacked me. I kind of thought that's kind of cool. Howie Long sacked me in Green Bay. He was the only guy. The field was frozen. It was as hard as this floor, but it was 35 below wind chill. The Raiders now, and the only person who could stand up on the whole field was Howie Long, which was weird. Like how can he? Well, come to find out, he had baseball spikes on, and yeah, which was illegal, and they made him go in before halftime and change his shoes.
So Brett Favre, we've been through a lot of things. Your career, we talked about a lot. I want to hear about Brett Favre, the man, the person. We're in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. You've been all over the world, all over the country. What you came back home? How come?
You're right. I played college ball here. I grew up an hour south on the Gulf Coast. My wife, we grew up in the same area. Our family still basically live an hour south. We liked Hattiesburg. We liked the Gulf Coast as well. But we just chose here, and it stuck. Our two daughters are here. Our oldest daughter has three boys, so they're all right here within a few miles of us. So it's a nice place. It's a little hot in the summer.
Do you miss the attention, the limelight of being a professional football player?
No. I had my share of that.
You ever think about getting into the broadcast booth?
I thought about it, but too much traveling. It's kind of like coaching. You know, I coached high school here for 2 years, a local high school. Loved it. But I could leave my house 10 minutes before practice started, and I could be home as quick as I wanted to be. If I coached at the college level, the time commitment gets greater. If you coach at the pro level, there is no other life. So broadcasting, I think I would enjoy it, but I don't. Just say, for example, it's a Monday night game in Seattle. I'd probably have to leave Saturday afternoon to do preps all day Sunday. Probably have to do radio stuff Monday. Get home sometime Tuesday. That's a lot of time.